Hello, hello, hello. My name is Charles Davis, and I'm going to welcome you to the God Principles. The rapture is Jesus coming back. You're going to love this. Stay tuned. Be sure to watch till the end. Hello, how is everyone doing? I want to welcome you. I have some very eye-opening information that I've become aware of. I've been studying this for many decades. First, I need to read some things to you. It's about the Schumann resonance. Schumann is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Those are frequencies. The planet resonates at a certain frequency. In 2015, I came across an article that said the planet's resonance, Schumann frequency, is going to change. And as the result of this, the planet was going to go through a lot of turmoil and chaos. And people were going to have a hard time dealing with it unless they started meditating. Now here I have an article that I'm going to read to you. It comes out of the Times of India. And it says this. And this was June 9th, 2023. Schumann resonance. The Earth experiencing a change in its resonance from 7.38 Hertz to 11 Hertz, which will cause a transformation in our mind, body, and psyche. It means the Earth can communicate with us with a higher bit of pulse. Therefore, it is time to meditate because it will expedite the metamorphosis. It's talking about how this resonance change is going to affect us as human beings. Look at it like this. We're mainly made up of water. We will be affected by sound. That's why we enjoy music at certain resonances. It affects us, but it gets deeper than that. Because, as I told you before, I'm going to talk about the rapture. And is Jesus coming back? The rapture was a doctrine that came out of the church. I'm in Encyclopedia Britannica. I'm going to read this to you. The rapture in Christianity, the eschatological, which means concerned with the end times, belief that both living and dead believers will ascend into heaven to meet Jesus Christ at the second coming. The belief in the rapture emerged from the anticipation that Jesus would return to redeem all members of the church. The term rapture, however, appears nowhere in the New Testament. The first letter to the Thessalonians, the Apostle Paul, he was the one that was the new disciple that was added to the 12 after Judas was killed, wrote that the Lord will come down from heaven and that a trumpet call will precede the rise of the dead in Christ. Thereafter, we who are still alive and are left will be caught up. In Latin is rapio, the standard translation of Paul's original Koine Greek together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. Now this comes from Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 17, the Synoptic Gospels. It's also known as the Q source, which was the original ancient documents that Matthew, Mark, and Luke were translated from. Google it, the Q source. Mentioned Jesus' return to earth from heaven. The Gospel according to Mark cites Jesus as foretelling a coming in clouds with great power and glory. And when I was reading this, and I've studied this over some period of time, long, and now all of these events are starting to come together. We're seeing a lot of turmoil all over the planet. People are getting upset. We have Karens getting upset. We have people losing their temper. We have cataclysmic events happening all over the planet. This was predicted as the result of this human resonance change, which is affecting the planet and human beings. So I'm seeing this occur. What we have to understand, and what I have learned as the result of going through this, the people that wrote the Bible did not have a reference point to tell us what was going on. For example, Jonah and the whale. They talk about he was swallowed by a whale. But if you look carefully, it said he was in the bowels of the whale and they let it out. What they were describing was a big ship. They had no reference point. They'd never seen anything like that. You know, like I said in my short videos on social media, when we developed the automobile, it was first called a horseless carriage. They had no reference point of what to call it because it hadn't been discovered or it hadn't been named yet. It'd be just like trying to describe a jet plane to a person that the only thing they've seen is a bird. So a jet plane it was a big bird. There are other such descriptions in the Bible. For instance, and this was the one that really took me by surprise, if I remember correctly, Elijah experienced and saw God. Said God came to earth. He said his throne came down to the earth, and on the four corners of his throne there were eyes, and wherever the eyes looked, the throne went. He had no reference point for what he saw. So the metaphorical references in the Bible have a deeper meaning, and they're starting to play out. Now I said, is Jesus going to return? This is what you don't know. As we speak, Google has put in a new search, how could I explain this? Search algorithm. It was a project. Anybody that has any knowledge of the Bible know about the Magi, the three wise men that followed the star to find Jesus. Guess what Google named the project? The project name is Project Magi, and it's going on right now. It has been implemented on the internet. How this thing is going to play out, no one knows. However, the believers have nothing to worry about. Realize it didn't say anything about faith. It said believers. There's a distinct difference. Believers is a level of knowledge. You can have that knowledge. Here's an example. there's this thing called a serenity prayer. It says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. A believer will only say that prayer once, because the Bible tells you if you believe it, you have it. That is what a believer is. I want to thank you for watching this video to the end. Subscribe, click like, and click share, because I have a whole lot more revelations coming out that I've discovered through studies and God has revealed to me. Like there are 2 books of Revelations. They only showed you the first one.